Back at another YouTube video. It's your boy Orion G. Today we're gonna react to Graffiti Bridge, the sequel to Purple Rain. I didn't know existed. Let's get right into the video.
You ever look at some?
We have an ad to start off. So firstly, I want to say that I literally just finished watching Graffiti Bridge, and some of it's okay and some of it's not all that. It's definitely not better than Purple Rain, but let's get right into this video.
Some things should have just been left alone, and this is definitely one of them. Alright, y'all, I watched this movie out of pure curiosity. I knew that there was a so-called sequel to Purple Rain called Graffiti Bridge that came out in 1990. It's a movie that I've always heard about, that I've seen the advertisements for, the posters. I remember they dropped the single, Tevin Campbell, Round and Round, but I never had no interest in watching the movie because at this point in my life, I'm 10 going on 11, I'm into rap, I'm not into Prince.
And some of the soundtrack, it's okay. Like, some of the songs aren't bad, but if you want to say Graffiti Bridge and Purple Rain, between them two, I gotta say Purple Rain.
Or Michael Jackson anymore, like I outgrew them. I didn't appreciate them until a lot later on. So Graffiti Bridge is something I've always known about, but I never really knew what it was about, what it was. I just knew that it was a Prince movie. It came, it went, nobody ever talked about it again. So now, I'm just going through YouTube and I'm seeing, clips from the movie. Because I'm a big fan of Purple Rain. And I saw a clip from the movie that said, yeah, this is a sequel to Purple Rain. I said, get the fuck out of here. I said, well, Purple Rain is one of my favorite movies, one of the best soundtracks ever. So I gotta check this out. Oh my God, I rented this on Amazon Prime Video. I hit play. And I ain't gonna waste much more of y'all time. Not only is this one of the worst sequels ever made, this is one of the worst movies ever made. And look here, y'all, I'm trying to get to where I'm not shitting on movies like that because I watched the interview with
I mean, like, it's definitely not budgeted best film type of movie. And Prince is not really an actor, really. I mean, he can act a little bit. He ain't no professional actor. Hold on.
Double Toasted and Chris Stuckman. And Chris Stuckman kind of opened my eyes as far as critiquing movies. He says he doesn't like to shit on movies because, at the end of the day, these are filmmakers. This is something that they really was passionate about. They did something, they put something together, and they thought it was the best thing that they had. But then when they put it out there and for people to shit on it, it's a slap in the face to them as an artist and as a filmmaker. And I'll put myself in them shoes. If I made something that I really loved and somebody shit on it, it'll hurt my fucking feelings, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to change that, but I gotta call a spade a spade. I can tell with this movie, Prince had a lot of yes men around him, and nobody told him no. Nobody had the balls to tell him that it wasn't good. You know what I'm saying? He wrote and directed this mess, this train wreck, and there was probably nobody on set that said, yo, Prince, come here, man. Look here. This movie ain't really happening.
Yeah, because when you have your own creativity and if it's your own stuff and no one has access to if he directed it and it's his, then I mean, regardless of what people say, if he feels like it's good, he's gonna release it. So I guess.
Bro, you probably shouldn't, chill. And from what I heard, Terry Lewis, it was a Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, they was in the movie. They said that originally this was supposed to be a vehicle for The Time. Okay, this is supposed to be the Times movie, but somewhere in the story it got lost and it became a Prince movie. And this is basically Purple Rain. It's Purple Rain recycled. Prince took Purple Rain and put it into the 90s and just revamped it a little bit. And that's all it is. It's the same exact plot. But with
concept, it kind of feels the same, but it's not being Purple Rain. Y'all let me know in the comments. How do y'all feel about this movie, Graffiti Bridge?
The personality, none of the charm, and none of the dope ass music. Now Prince is known for his dope ass music. He's fucking Prince. Tell me how every song in this movie damn near sucked. Tevin Campbell had the best song in this movie. Prince had one song in here that I liked. What's the name of it?
I liked like 2 other songs or something like that. It's like 1 or 2. I just, I
Oh
don't know.
my god. It was one of the singles for the movie. That was it. That was it. I'm pretty sure people watched this at the time when it came out and said, what the hell did this motherfucker give us? And it's the last movie he directed. After this, he didn't do any more movies. Then I see why. I'm pretty sure he got crucified so bad. I have to look up Siskel and Ebert if they reviewed this. The acting, the writing, this was just a mess. And even the set, you can tell it was shot on a set, on a soundstage. There was nothing about this movie that looked authentic or organic. This it was like a play, okay? It was maybe it would have worked better as a play, but still because the music was so bad, it probably would have still sucked as a play. You know what I'm saying? There was nothing about this movie that was good. The bike made a comeback. The bike that he had in Purple Rain was in this one. But I'm telling y'all, it's the same shit. Prince plays the kid who makes music that nobody wants to hear, and Morris Day is his rival, and Morris this time owns like most of the clubs except for the club that he has, or that Prince has, and that's only because the club owner from the first movie left it to Prince and Morris. So Morris is trying to run Prince out of town. But then, of course, in classic Purple Rain style, Prince does a ballad at the end that changes Morris's mind, saves the day, changes the world, roll credits. And here's something ridiculous I gotta say too. The love interest in this movie is also like kind of the narrator. She's like the
And there's definitely a lot of music in this movie, just like the first one. But I feel like there was more story in the first one compared to Graffiti Bridge.
angelic voice or whatever, his conscience, and she ends up spoiler here. I don't give a fuck. Spoiler. She gets hit by a car before the climax. She gets hit by a car, gets ran over, and everybody at first is like, "Oh my God, oh Jesus!" You know, everybody's like crying, and oh no, this ambulance comes that looks like the Ecto One from Ghostbusters, scrapes her nipples off the pavement, puts her into the meat wagon, takes her away, and then they go back to doing what they was doing like nothing ever happened. That's how weird and bizarre this movie is. You know, Prince as an artist, as a singer, as a songwriter, you know, can't be touched. But movies, yeah.
That's a fact. But y'all do know I still like MJ more. But when you want to say top two, top five artists of all time in that specific genre with like singers and stuff, it's Michael and Prince. Like R&B, pop, all of that in that genre. Cause I can't really say that because you know Prince did funk and rock, so they're still in the era of pop though. So I'm gonna say them two. And then like if you want to talk about others, then that's when we go into depth like Bobby Brown and stuff like that. Y'all tell me y'all favorite like artists in different genres. Y'all tell me in the comments.
Yeah. I don't know what's worse, this or I Got the Hookup Too. Well, I think I Got the Hookup Too is probably worse because at least this one tried to tell somewhat of a story, somewhat of a narrative. I Got the Hookup Too was just all over the place. This movie's all over the place. This movie was not good. Rest in peace to Prince, though, man. You know what I'm saying? He left behind a great body of work, but not this one. This and Under the Cherry Moon can both kick rocks. Let's just forever remember the greatness that was Purple Rain.
None of the Cherry Moon. That was in dark. That was in black and white. That's an old movie. That's like in 1970 something. And I like watched a little bit of it. And I didn't even watch the full movie. I don't even think I should even watch the movie. Do y'all like that movie? Alright.
And I could see why Graffiti Bridge was buried, never to be seen again. Graffiti Bridge gets an F minus.
Dang.
Haven't given out one of those in a while. F minus is what I got for Graffiti Bridge. Got that out the way. So y'all, have y'all seen the movie? What'd you think about it? Comment freely below.
Alright, that was Graffiti Bridge, the sequel to Purple Rain I didn't know existed. Subscribe, like, comment. Tell me what you guys want to see next in the comments down below. I got more videos coming. Stay tuned. And yeah, Uriah out.